Today we're going to look at EasyStreet, which is the only green trail on the basin side of the mountain. And although it's green, interestingly enough, the first bit here is probably the loosest and hardest to ride for a brand new rider. And you know, for me, when I look at a green trail at a bike park, I'm really looking for something that a brand new first time downhiller or even a first time mountain biker can get through without being frustrated or terrified. And the first bit of this one is actually pretty chunky for your very first bike experience. Definitely nothing dangerous necessarily, but I did notice today there was a group of folks, it looked like a family, who was riding together for the first time, you know, all in rental gear, and they were riding that trail and they were just walking the beginning. But as an alternative, this is the pavement road that starts up at the lift. So if you don't want to run the stuff I just did, you can just take the pavement down to right here and jump on where it starts off smooth, which might not be a bad idea if you're brand new or you're bringing out someone who has not ridden before. Because as you can see, this trail surface is very smooth, only the smallest little bumps and no big elevation changes or loose gravel to slip around in. So this is more of what I want to see when I'm kind of sizing up a green trail for the brand new mountain biker. So what we're going to do is take EasyStreet a majority of the way down, and then we're going to hook into WhistlePig, which was added a couple of years ago as kind of a small step up from EasyStreet. And it's very similar in terms of the difficulty of the trail surface. It's all really smooth, a couple little rocks here and there, nothing big, but it does have a little bit more pitch to it. So once a rider does EasyStreet a couple times and is getting some confidence, maybe starting to feel like they want to go a little faster, not that there isn't speed to be found here. As you can see, I'm going reasonably fast for a green trail without pedaling, just trail speed. WhistlePig is nice because it gives you more elevation, some steeper berms, and an overall kind of faster feel without losing the ease of the green trail status. So a really great set of trails for new riders. Now coming up, there's a skills section which has a few different features on it that we'll take a look at. But I want to hit this line to the left because it has the more difficult features. This little bump isn't too bad, but this drop is actually pretty decent size. Here's the skills area, and this first feature is really smooth and easy. It's only about a foot to come off of that, but for a new rider trying to get used to features, really great because it keeps you off the ground just a little bit. And then there's a small skinny here, not too long, not too tall. Great way to learn a little bit of balance, build some confidence. And then up here there's kind of an awkward little roller, which is actually good for getting some bike handling, which dumps into this drop, which for a beginner skills area, I gotta say, first time I hit it I was surprised because I pulled a little bit and ended up landing probably good 4.5, 5 feet down. So if you hit this with any speed, it's actually a decent sized drop. Nice. For a beginner feature, It's got a really short ramp on it and a pretty big drop. So here's the WhistlePig option that I mentioned. We're gonna take and I'm gonna try and just start into this slow and see what happens when I use as little brake as I can get away with. So you can get a sense of the natural trail speed. Pretty easy so far. But you can see this grade is a little bit steeper, and this berm definitely steeper. And you can get quite a bit of speed through here if you want to. Certainly don't have to. If you grab the brake, you can go really slow, but again, smooth trail, but a lot more elevation for the rider who is starting to build some confidence and wants to kind of crank it up a little bit. There are a couple trail connections back and forth between EasyStreet and WhistlePig. We saw the main entrance back there. We should see a merge coming up pretty soon, and then another split. And there we're back, and then around this corner we'll split again for a WhistlePig. Even got a nice double in here if you're in the mood. So very consistent in terms of the pitch and the surface. Just a great couple of trails for a new rider to get comfortable on. So good job, Snowshoe, for investing the time in those brand new riders, people just trying out the sport. And then kind of like we saw at the top, as you get toward the bottom, there are some bits that are pretty chunky. Nothing horrible, but for a first-time rider, it might be just enough to kind of make them nervous. And you see, normally it would continue through there. That's closed off right now, so we'll jump back in right down here. And as you can see, there's definitely some chunk down here. Different than what we saw for the majority of the trail. So all in all, trail definitely does what it was meant to do, but just keep in mind it is a bit of a mixed bag when you compare the top and bottom end to the middle. It is, thank you, it is a very long trail, so another thing to keep in mind for that brand new rider, their arms and hands are probably not going to handle a full run of that, so expect to stop once or twice to shake them out, especially if they're doing a lot of braking. And there it is. EasyStreet to WhistlePig.